My question is it okay to say every time that Babaji will take care of me, Babaji will take care of me, rather than putting our efforts to change our life or make changes to our life?
Unless we don't put an effort, do you say I'm sitting on my bed, if the Lord wants, he'll give me a bath? We make an effort, na? So we have to make the effort. And unless we don't make the effort, we go to extremes. Either we don't do anything or we try and do everything.
After receiving a right guidance, also, there are so many people that they are not able to move forward with their lives.
Well, I think again, it's their karmas, their perception, their attitude. So the Lord has blessed us. He's given us human birth. He's given us sense of discrimination. Now it's up to us to utilize that fully, na?
Yeah.
Now, like in a class, the teacher teaches everybody. Some of them learn and some of them don't learn, beta.
Yeah. Thank you, Babaji. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank all New York Sevadars to making this event successful. And because of them, I got this chance. Thank you.
We are not here to inflate their egos. Everybody does seva for himself.
Okay. Thank you.
ਵੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਲਈ ਦੂਰ ਭੇਜ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਰੱਖੀਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੂਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੋਈ ਭਟਕ ਜਾਣਾ ਰਸਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੂਰ ਭੇਜ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ
ਬੇਟਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ 6-7 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਭੇਜਦਾ ਸੀ ਬੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਿੱਚ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਨੇੜੇ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਜਾਂ ਦੂਰ ਭੇਜ ਕੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੰਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਮਾੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦੇ ਜੋ ਸੰਸਕਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਣਾਓਗੇ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਰੱਖੋਗੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਹੈ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਓ ਜੇ ਚੰਗਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਚੰਗੀ
ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦਿੰਦਾ
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੀਰਾ ਬਣਾ ਲਓ ਦੀਨ ਦਿਆਲ ਇਹਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦਿਓ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਬੇਟਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਗਦੀ ਆ ਗਈ ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣਾ ਦਿਓ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਤਾਕਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸਹਾਰਨ ਦੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਉਦਾਹਰਣ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੈ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲਕਸ਼ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਤਰਫ ਵਧਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਰੋਟੀ ਦੇ ਦਈਏ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਛੇਤੀ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੇਟਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਕਰੀਏ ਉਹਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹ ਲਕਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਤਰਫ ਵਧਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੀਏ ਮਗਰ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਉਹ ਤਾਕਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਭਾ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਨਿਭਣੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਦੀਨ ਦਿਆਲ
I have two questions. From the childhood days, since I was born, I was exposed to different belief systems, which was religious belief systems, like not spiritual, but fasting and prayers. I followed all of them because of fear, because of my parental pressure. I started loving them slowly, being thankful, and I continued. And then I slowly came on this path and I got initiated. Now my mind, body, soul is connected to all the 5 words, and I want to stay on this path. But I know everything is inside, the love is inside, bhajan is inside. But the rituals which are followed in the society are outside, and still I have those prayers going on in my mind. So I wanted you to please help me in understand the balance which I can keep on this path, because I want to follow the right thing. I don't want to give away everything because of the fear that I'm not doing anything right. I want to follow a right approach also. So please help me, Babaji, to know.
Beta, everything has a purpose. Nothing was created without a purpose. When you put the child in the first class, in the nursery, they make him play, they tell him stories. Now, the purpose is to catch his attention that time, more than to teach him, right? And then step by step, we go forward. Now, these outward practices are basically to help us to focus and catch our attention. So, there is the outward and there is the inward. The outward is a means towards that inward. Fasting is very good for health. Okay? Now, prayers, we are constantly thinking of something, wanting something. So, prayer is a supplication. So, because we are limited, we feel the need to pray and ask and convey our sentiment or whatever. But if you look at it, the best prayer is the silent prayer, where you sit and accept. So, one is the means, the other is the end. Our problem is that we get stuck in the first class and don't go forward. So all these were created to help us on the spiritual path to take our attention within.
And Babaji, the last one, and there is a ritual of a non-vegetarian diet in this country especially. And when your kids are interested in eating and you are on this path, how to create the balance where you can teach them.
I stayed in Spain for a long time, and Spain is a Catholic country. And I found that there's a particular day in which they don't eat any non-veg. So my one question was, how can it be right on all the other days and be wrong on one day?
I believe them too.
Either it is wrong or it's right.
Yeah.
So one day in the week it becomes wrong, and the other days it becomes right.
Yeah.
Now, if we read the Old Testament, it starts with how the Lord created his creation. He created man, he created this, that. And then when he created the plants, he said, these shall be meat for ye. Meat means food, doesn't mean non-veg. They didn't listen. He banished them from the promised land. When they repented, he sent them to the land of milk and honey. I mean, we don't read our scriptures, yeah? Thou, the 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill. Yeah, to suit ourselves, we now added the word human beings.
बाबा जी मेरा सवाल ये है कि हमारे पास्ट में हमारे कुछ बुरे एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं कुछ लोगों के साथ या पास्ट रिलेशनशिप्स में, तो हमारे दिमाग की एक सर्टेन लेवल की कंडीशनिंग हो जाती है। तो एक हम इमोशनल बैगेज लेके आगे बढ़ते हैं जिसकी वजह से हम अपना 100% नहीं दे पाते। तो इतने सालों के एक्सपीरियंसेस और इमोशनल कंडीशनिंग को कैसे ओवरकम करें?
बेटा देखो, मालिक ने अगर हमें इंसान का जामा दिया है, what is it that separates us from the lower creatures? They react to circumstances. We are supposed to be objective. And that is why he's given us that sense of discrimination, Vivek. So now it's up to you. Whatever has happened in the past will put you into a situation. You can as easily do the right thing and take care of that karma as you can do the wrong thing. Now, why would I take a wrong step and add to my problems? If I'm going to sort of hold on to this negativity all the time, who am I harming? The other person doesn't even remember what he's done or not done. Am I not carrying that baggage with myself? I'm holding on to that. So the sooner I let go of all that negativity, I'm helping myself, na? Somebody said something to me, did something to me. Why should I hold on to that? I should see what is beneficial for me and focus on that. Why should I hold on to the negativity?
Raswami Babaji, Babaji, my question is about praying for others. There could be times when we may want to pray for others. One such case could be like when our friends and families, they are going through hard times and they ask us to pray to God for them. Other times, like when we see in news, there are horrible things happening to small kids, women. You can't do anything about it. You feel sad about it. The only thing you can do is probably pray to God about them. So Babaji, my question is it okay to pray for other people? And when you pray for other people, do you get their bad karmas on you?
Because there's no harm in wanting good for everybody. There's no harm in praying for everybody, but that is to create a mindset in the community that helps you to be more positive than to say that it affects the other person who's going through that pain. Do we need to remind the Lord? What is prayer? It's a supplication. Ardas, Benti. Does the Lord not know? If he doesn't know, then how will he have the power to give? If he has the power to give, he also has the power to know. So in our limited framework, with our emotions, we feel the need, because we are affected by what we see, what we sort of hear, and that's why we feel that need. But that's more for ourselves,
Yes, Babaji.
to keep our positivity. Whereas what has to be done, that will follow the karmic accountability, beta. Whatever anybody is going through is because of the karmic accountability. You can't change that. But to save your own sanity, and we don't get affected by the negativity that is created by all this. We look to our scriptures, we read our scriptures, we pray to the Lord. Do you need set words to tell the Lord?
Yes, Babaji.
My question, Babaji, is the rituals that we follow in any occasion, Babaji, do you think they have any significance? Because I always find them meaningless, although I kept on doing it just because my elders wants me to do that. But sometimes I refuse to do that because I couldn't find any reason or any scientific reason behind that. What are your views on that, Babaji?
But everything should be done with an objective. Right? Now, I am not saying that these rituals don't have an objective. Our problem is we don't understand that objective. We just do it because our father did it and our grandfather and great-grandfather did it. So it is up to us to try and find what it means. Everything started with a meaning. I don't think so the religious heads just started it for the heck of it. Over a period of time, we've forgotten, beta. So understand it. Whatever you do with understanding, with an objective, you will be going beyond the ritual. But if you're going to do it just because everybody else is doing it, then you're not going to get anything out of it, beta.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you so much for taking care of all of us. Thank you so much, Babaji.
Radhaswami Babaji, my question is, if someone is initially initiated and very young, they can have a lot of distractions. So what can they do from their end so that they can fulfill the promise given to you of doing 2.5 hours of meditation?
Better distractions, so everybody has. Whether you are young or you are old, everybody has distractions. Now you have to be objective in life. What is the right thing to do? So at any stage of life, if you do the wrong thing, you're going to pay a heavy price for that. So if we bring objectivity into our thinking and into our actions, only then can we save ourselves. So the idea is to be positive and to be focused on what is the right thing to do. You see, most of the time, you have to take life to a logical conclusion. Why would you do anything which is not going to give you any results? So most of the time we are indulging ourselves in pursuits that are not going to take us anywhere. So if we bring about objectivity, automatically you will do the right thing.
Thank you so much, Babaji.
बाबा जी मोह से दूर कैसे हुआ जाए?
बेटा ये भी हम सुनते हैं कि मोह और माया और ये काम क्रोध लोभ अहंकार सारी चीजें, देखो सोच के ऊपर निर्भर है. अगर हम ये सोचें ना कि हम इन चीज़ों को, क्योंकि हमें इस वक्त एहसास हो गया कि ये चीज़ें सही नहीं है हमारे लिए, तो हम अपने आप को इनसे निकाल पाएंगे, ये आपकी गलत फहमी है. जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ेंगे हमें एहसास होगा सही और गलत का, हमें एहसास होगा अपने इस असल लक्ष्य का, तभी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हम आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. तो ये सिर्फ मन से ज़बरदस्ती करने से नहीं होगा. जब तक मन को कोई आप और बेहतर इससे नहीं देते तो मन तो फिर अपनी आदत से मजबूर चलेगा ना. भजन बंदगी करेंगे, अंदर से रस आएगा, तभी ये दुनिया के रस फीके पड़ेंगे.
Swami Babaji, thank you.
Radha Swami Papaji. Last year, me and my wife went through a traumatic experience. And when this all happened, I felt angry at my faith. And I don't know how to reconnect with it. And I don't know how to make and help my family move forward. And I'm struggling to meditate. And I'm angry when I'm meditating. And I need your help.
Beta, first and foremost, faith is not something that comes and goes, beta. So it was not faith. Faith, when you come to that stage, then there's no looking back. So we've based, let's say, we've put our trust in certain aspects of the philosophy which were logical to us. Now, in life, there are going to be many ups and downs. That's how you learn. Nobody's life is perfect. The real success of a person is that given all the adversity of circumstances, he still makes a success of life. That's real success. But most of us, we falter. And if we falter, then you can't call it faith. In faith, whether you get success or failure, it should not make a difference. Because you've got that objective and you're going to work towards that. That is faith. So, beta, we are going to have ups and downs. I don't think so anybody promised you that everything will be nice, or anybody's life out here has been without a struggle. But we have to take it as a learning process to learn from that. Now, whatever we are going through is basically the result of our own actions. It's not somebody else's actions. As you sow, so shall you reap. Whichever seed you sow, that's what you are going to get, aren't you? So the law of nature is very clear. What is karma? Action, reaction, consequence. Cause, effect. So whatever is happening in our life is a direct consequence of our own actions. So to say that, now I don't believe in this, or I don't believe in this because this has happened in my life, that's happened because of you. So beta, we all need an anchor in life to hold on to. You have a strong anchor, you can go through anything in life. But if the anchor is weak, then the ship will go with the storm. So we owe it to ourselves first to understand and build a strong foundation so that we can weather the storm.
Thank you, Papaji.
Don't expect perfection, beta. Don't. Strengthen yourself. That no matter what happens in life, you stand steadfast.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question is, I have many relatives who are into Sant and Radha Swami satsang, and many of them they try like many. It happens like you have your questions with them, and they always try to overcome your thinking by telling you that they know better than whatever you are thinking. But I know, like whenever I hear your satsangs, whenever I hear question answers, like I can understand and I can come back to a place where I know, like, no, whatever they are saying, it's not correct. Like what Babaji told last time was something different. So how can I make them understand about this thing that you shouldn't be that proud of what you are, like having a naam dam, like.
Better they say little knowledge is dangerous.
Yeah.
So what happens is in their anxiety, they try to be patronizing. They try to show you that they know everything. The fact is they don't know anything. None of us know anything. We are seeking. We are all seekers. Because the opposite of seeking is one who's realized his goal. And the person who's realized his goal won't be sitting here. And if we are sitting here means we are still learning and we are still seeking. So don't let anybody tell you what is right and wrong. Base it on your personal experience better.